Journey to Rainbow Island. Written by Christy Shao.
After a long while, the rainforest gave way to a colorful garden with green manicured grass and colorful tropical flowers.
"This is my garden,"
she said to the group. Then, turning to the Emperor, she said,
"Let's walk that way to the left."
The Empress and Emperor walked slightly ahead as the Empress gently touched the blossoms along the path. Ahead, Yuning saw a crystal-clear pond and an arch-shaped bridge made of cypress wood. The pond reflected a rainbow of colors as the slanting rays of the late afternoon sun shined off the water.
"It's so beautiful,"
Yuning cried as she dashed toward the bridge and quickly walked to the middle. She leaned over the wooden railing, admiring the water. Yuning felt like she was soaring as she leaned out over the bridge, gazing with joy into the colorful pond below. She crouched down and with her right arm outstretched, swept her fingers across the water, creating a magnificent ripple of color and movement. It was very quiet and tranquil. Romeo and Metatron joined Yuning along with the Emperor and Empress along the railing of the bridge. Magic left Metatron's pocket, lured to the pond's banks by the buzzing of insects. Suparna landed quietly nearby and stood taking in the beautiful bridge and peaceful pond. The only sounds were those of birds, insects, and water gurgling in a small rivulet that flowed out of the forest into the pond. Large orange and white koi darted back and forth. Their scales shined through the water in a rainbow of colors, orange, red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. As they swam, they blended into the water, which surprised Yuning and made the Empress laugh.
"Seeing these beautiful fish reminds me of what is still missing, the 7 sacred crystals,"
said Yuning.
"How will we ever find them again?"
"All of us together will reclaim the crystals, Yuning,"
said the Empress, looking alternately at Yuning, Romeo, Metatron, and Suparna.
"And even though the 7 sacred crystals are gone, we all have the light and colors within us, don't we, Yuning?"
said the Empress.
"Never forget the colors of hope and love are always within you."
Yuning lunged forward to hug the Empress around her waist. As she stood up and smiled into the Empress's eyes, she said,
"I will, Empress, I will."
The Empress leaned down to kiss her forehead. Tears filled their eyes. Yuning looked up at the Empress and said,
"Empress, this place is so colorful and beautiful. It is just like Rainbow Island. It's as if we were in the same place."
The Empress nodded, smiling at Yuning. She looked at the kind wizard whose eyes were shining like diamonds. Yuning and Romeo ran down the bridge, searching for magic in the reeds along the edge of the pond. The Empress sighed joyfully, with emotion filling her heart. Tears welled in her eyes as she looked at Metatron.
"Is she ready to hear the truth, Metatron?"
"Not yet, Your Highness. She has been through so much, and has only just discovered her identity as a dark render. I do not think now is the time, but soon, very soon."
"But you know that her destiny is tied to mine and mine to hers. Should she know that she is the future Empress, and that I am—"
The Empress stopped in mid-sentence as Yuning ran back onto the bridge, holding magic in the palm of her hand.
"This is so wonderful,"
exclaimed Yuning.
"I feel as if I could stay here forever. Metatron, could we stay here for a while?"
Metatron knelt down so that he was even with the young girl's eyes.
"Yuning, this will not be our last visit to the floating palace. I promise we will return to visit with the Empress very soon."
"Yes,"
said the Empress, who stood nearby.
"I will see you again, my dear. My prayer is that the world will know love again through you, Yuning, and through Romeo. All you need to do is trust. Live your story, Yuning, and live it in love."
Romeo joined Yuning at the center of the bridge as they gazed at the tranquil scene before them. At the end of the bridge, a flash of bright light caught everyone's attention. As the group turned toward the beautiful light, one materialized before the group. Though he shared no words with Yuning or anyone else, a pure love flowed from him, filling Yuning's heart with an overwhelming joy. A moment later, one transformed back into a brilliant orb of light, floated above the bridge, and was gone in a bright flash. Metatron smiled and nodded his head as he turned back to his friends.
At week's end, my friends, we depart. First we rest, and then it will be time for us to journey to Rainbow Island.
The small group gazed across the pond, down the sloping descent of the green meadows, and out beyond the enchanted walls of the floating palace. In the distance, across the western sea, the sun was a fading disk on the far horizon, bathing the bridge in a soft, shimmering pink glow.
Copyright by Christy Shao, 2014. Stay tuned for Journey to Rainbow Island 2.